What's up, beautiful people? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Dialogue with the Davises. My name is Cedric, and this is my stunningly, amazingly,
Captivating.
captivating, beautiful, radiant wife, Lashana. How you doing today, love? You doing all right?
I'm doing well. Thank you for
See, you
asking.
look that's a beautiful color combination on you. That looks good.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you look nice.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to talk a little later.
Mm-hmm.
Got some stuff I want to share with
You want to
you.
share it?
Yeah, I just want to share something with you. That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yeah, so man, look, again, like I said, welcome to another episode of Dialogue with the Davises. We've been once again blessed with the opportunity to come before you and share a conversation that we hope leads to positive dialogue, positive communication, and an influx of just happiness and joy and peace in your relationships and your marriages, man. Um, so how you been doing, though, love? You been doing all right?
I have.
Yeah.
How have you been doing?
I've been doing good. Thank you for asking. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of taking it one day at a time. That's all.
All right.
Yeah, you know how I do.
Must be nice.
What you mean? It must be nice.
Just one day at a time.
You don't
Just.
take it one day at a time?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I
Mm.
thought you was saying you could see into the future or something. You was planning. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Like,
no.
oh, okay, one day at a time. Then cool.
One day at a
All
time.
right. Like my grandpa used to say, just keep saying good morning.
That's all. Just
Just
keep
keep saying
saying
good
good
morning.
morning.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So, coming to you with a topic today, that myself and a wife talk about frequently enough.
Mm.
This probably gonna be, you know what I'm saying, one of your favorite conversations,
Why would you say that?
because I mean, it's just it is because you express this, you know what I'm saying, in our marriage, and you know what I'm saying, making sure that it's present.
Oh,
That's why,
okay.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, but
Okay.
yeah, we coming again.
PG.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be all right.
All right.
Yeah, we coming again with a conversation. Like I said, we've had numerous times. Um, and definitely realize the importance and the significance of it now as we've gotten older and as our marriages has matured and we develop a different understanding and the thing we'll be addressing today or talking about today is the importance of having intimacy
Mm-hmm.
in your marriage and in your relationship. So I know a lot of people when they hear the word intimacy, you know what I'm saying, their mind may just automatically uh, go to sex.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But give me what you think intimacy is. Like, what is intimacy to you? You know what I'm saying?
Intimacy to me
Mm-hmm.
is connection.
Okay.
It is connection that you share exclusively with someone. It is it's a building block for me. It's something that builds a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It is also like a bank to me.
Okay.
You put in to it what you want to take out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important to have intimacy in a relationship because without it, your relationship has no there's no way to identify
Mm-hmm.
one relationship from another.
Mm.
Um, I think it's the thing that kind of encapsulates this is this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You I often say you can have breakfast with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You can um, go shopping with anyone, but intimacy is something that you share with someone that is exclusive to that person.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my bad. You was,
Oh, no, that was all.
yeah, my bad. But I agree. I definitely think intimacy is extremely important in a marriage, and like you said, you put out of it, put into it what you be able to expect to pull out of it, and it establishes a connection with your person and with your spouse. But I know this was something that I had to learn as a young man that intimacy is just not all about, you know what I'm saying, physical intercourse, or it's not
Right.
all about, you know what I'm saying, the act of sex. Intimacy also involves, you know what I'm saying, being romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Intimacy also involves establishing those different hidden secrets that exist between only you and, you know what I'm saying, your significant other. Intimacy um, is important because it does strengthen a connection, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. When you have the ability to reference certain points and times in your life other than just the sexual acts. Not saying that that isn't important, you know what I'm saying, because that's extremely
Right.
important and that's a big portion of intimacy. But just having, you know what I'm saying, a nurturing relationship that is intimate, you know what I'm saying, is extremely important in my
Right.
opinion. I think again, like when we were younger, I thought, you know what I'm saying, intimacy was just the act of sex, and there were different points and times in which I may have neglected, like once we got married, to continue not necessarily dating you, but being as romantic or being as intentional about my efforts to establish and strengthen a stronger connection, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would still go out and, you know what I'm saying, we would still do things or whatever else, but it was almost like it became just common practice. It was like it was routine. It was,
Muscle memory.
yeah, that's what it was. It was like not a great deal of thought that went into it or anything else like that. And you know what I'm saying, I began to understand the significance or the importance of being in a situation where it's like, okay, I need to date my wife with intentionality, or I need to
Right.
communicate with my wife, you know what I'm saying, in a way that is extremely important. And I think as we grew over time and we matured over time, my understanding of what intimacy is, it completely changed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and especially now, just those moments of us sitting on the sofa together, or the chair that's supposed to be my chair, but some kind of way, you know what I'm saying, it turned into our chair. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know how that happened. It's supposed to be my chair, but
It
uh,
was never supposed to be your chair.
it wasn't.
In the furniture store, I said it was our chair.
I don't remember saying
I
our.
Yeah, I remember sitting in it and saying it was our chair.
Well, we getting off topic because
Mm,
still, when we sit in my chair and we snuggle, and you know what I'm saying, we watch movies together, and we in our own little space,
mm.
like that's his own version of intimacy. Um, but now let me ask you, how do you think our intimacy has been over the years? Do you feel like we've done a decent job of maintaining that, or do you feel like, I mean, yeah,
I'm
because
okay.
you chuckling like like you saying got something on your mind, like what's, yeah,
I think we've done.
a pretty decent
I think
job.
we've done a good job.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've always, you know what I'm saying, remained attracted to one another, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying like the intimacy. How you
I
feel
mean, I
like?
think the intimacy has been. I think we've done a good job.
Okay.
Um, I think that is somewhere we've always been strong in the way
Mm-hmm.
that we both um, kept up with it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
both would say, "Hey, we're not maybe doing as well of a job as we should be doing,"
Yeah.
and then we get back on track because we both recognize and acknowledge people's um, relationships become a cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and you do the same thing every day,
Mm-hmm.
and then a day turns into weeks, weeks turns into months, months turns into years. You're doing the same thing, you're doing the same thing, you're raising children, you're doing this your household, and then your children leave
Mm-hmm.
and you have nothing in common.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen so many times where you can go to people's houses or whatever and they are like
They're roommates.
they're roommates
Yeah.
because there's no intimacy, there was no
Mm-hmm.
connection. And I think that we both have seen that enough times. We were like, in the beginning, we're not going to let that happen to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to make sure that we do what we need to do um, to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's not to say that we both have said we want to do date night once a week. And
Mm-hmm.
we get off to a good start and then life happens.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then this week we can't go because something happened. And then next week we don't go. And then weeks will go by and we'll be like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
date night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um, and just to keep the intimacy going. But I think that we've done a good job in that area.
Yeah, I don't think we've done terribly bad. You know what I'm saying? Now there have been times where when we've been at each other's necks. You know what I'm saying? Where
Hmm.
we didn't maintain the level of intimacy that I feel the way that we should have. Like, and I
Okay.
feel like we could have been better in that area during those times of struggle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, there's never not been, like, I've never gotten to a point where I did not want to be around you, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I've never been in a place where, like, because even when, you know what I'm saying, we were at odds, and even when we disagreed, and even when we weren't connecting in a way um, that we should have been connecting, like there still was no level of like I can't stand her. I don't never want to be around her
Hmm.
again. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I think the times that we weren't connecting
Mm-hmm.
was because we had neglected the intimacy.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
if we were arguing or, fussing or whatever it was that we were doing,
Mm-hmm.
I think if we look back on it, and when we have looked back on it, I think that we recognized we were being neglectful of the intimacy.
Yeah. Just.
We weren't, because I don't think people realize, when you have moments of let's go do date night, or you know, um, whatever, those moments strengthen your marriage
Yeah. It
and
does.
strengthen your connection. Um, and it makes you have a little bit more patience and give out a little bit more grace,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a chance to see that person as human again.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I know that for me, um, and I don't think I ever take you for granted,
Mm-hmm.
but there are things I just know you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
I just don't worry about. I don't worry about putting gas in the car. I don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about cutting the grass. I don't worry
Mm-hmm.
about paying bills ever.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to pay bills.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds horrible to say, but that's not
I mean,
my,
glory to God. Yeah.
um, there are things I know that, things that people don't realize how important they are. I don't ever have to worry about, going to Sam's or Costco and
Mm-hmm.
buying our big bulk items,
Yeah.
things that we absolutely need in big bulk,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, and so they become for me, not like I said, I don't take you for granted, but I just know they're gonna be done.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I don't ever worry about them. I never worry about waking up and something's turned off. I don't worry about um when I go do the Walmart pickup. I
Mm-hmm.
just order the stuff I want to order,
Mm-hmm.
and magically it just gets paid for. So when you do that, if you don't take time to say, you know what, I want to reconnect,
Mm-hmm.
then it does turn into the machine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and as you were making your point, you know what I'm saying? It came to me, like, do you feel like that's a form of intimacy in itself, like just being, um, not necessarily accountable, but being dependable in those areas that have been established as far as your lanes in your relationship? Do you
Yes.
feel like that's a form of intimacy?
Um, I've never considered it until you just said it, but yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do because intimately, I don't think that someone else would do that for me.
I mean,
I don't.
not
And when I
not the
say that, I don't mean like if I was in a relationship with someone else.
yeah.
I mean just people in my life.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I,
Nah,
like I,
yeah,
whoever, one of my
yeah.
coworkers,
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna call me and be like, "Hey, I'm going to Sam's. You need
Yeah,
some
yeah,
big bulk items,"
yeah. Nah.
and they're not gonna do that. So yeah, I do think it's that is a form of intimacy.
I mean, it's and again, I think it's, you know what I'm saying. The dynamics of the relationship also, play a significant role in that. Um, but I know for myself personally as well, like intimacy is definitely what you doing.
Mhm.
Oh, you just rubbing my
I was
shirt.
just trying to say that shirt might look good pair my jeans, but I'm sorry.
Nah, it's too big for you. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's way too
I was
big.
trying to feel the material.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying. For me, like intimacy is definitely one of those things where it strengthens the connection, and not only does it strengthen the connection, but it also um, ensures that there's less likelihood for some type of separation to take place in that aspect. Like like intimacy again. So like we say, it's not just about physical connection, and we'll get to that point in a minute. But intimacy prevents the likelihood for something else taking place. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a sense of,
Mhm.
say for instance, um, if you're not neglecting, I mean to say if I'm neglecting or you're neglecting certain intimate needs that I need from a standpoint of love language. Like we just the other night we were talking about love languages, and you know what I'm saying. We discovered what which we already knew what it was, but
Mhm.
surprisingly yours changed. You know what I'm saying, over the years, but
Right.
nonetheless, like love language. If I'm neglecting to be intimate with you in a way in which you know what I'm saying, best receive love, then that leaves a door open
Right.
for somebody else to, you know what I'm saying, potentially fill that space or fill that
Right.
void. And even if it doesn't come, you know what I'm saying, to a place of, you know what I'm saying, infidelity or anything like that, it still is
It's so
something
dangerous.
that's is dangerous. Or
Yeah.
and just to that, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a person that begins to fill that void. It could be
Absolutely.
a habit. You
It
know what
can.
I'm
It
saying? You
can
can
be.
establish a habit
Mhm.
that now begins to own some, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying, I use this to fill the void that you know what I'm
Right.
saying, I'm
Right.
not
Right.
experiencing at home. So I think it prevents, now again, nothing, I don't feel is foolproof, but I
Mhm.
feel like it's definitely preventative in a way where it doesn't allow you to fill space with things that, you know what I'm saying, could be potentially detrimental to the nature of your
Mhm.
relationship.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think for me, intimacy is important in that aspect. And then, you know what I'm saying, now just getting back to the point, what I said we would touch upon in a few minutes, just even the sex life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
if there's no intimacy and you're safe, it's just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Like, there's no connection with that.
I
You know what
mean,
I'm
but
saying?
then the thing about it is, if it's that, then it's not intimacy, and that is something that you really could do with anybody.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
you know, you. It sounds terrible, but you can. You
Mm-hmm.
can, you can absolutely just. The mechanics of it can be
Yeah,
done with
yeah,
anyone.
definitely.
You meet some random person and you jump into bed with them. There's not going to be any intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be mechanics
Mm-hmm.
because there's not a connection to that
Yeah, not at
person.
all.
Um, and so you have to nurture your intimacy so that you do have that connection and you
Yeah,
maintain that
definitely.
connection. And I think, like you said, if you don't maintain that connection, then it does leave room for something or someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And we've discussed it over years. If we're talking about um, the sexual part, for me,
Mm-hmm.
um, an emotional affair is by far
Yeah,
more damaging
than a
than
physical
a
affair.
physical
Yeah.
affair. Physical affair is like, okay, so you know,
Mm-hmm.
but if you get promoted and you can't wait to tell somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Before I tell you.
before you tell me, if
Yeah.
something tragic happens and you need that other person,
Mm-hmm.
or all the great things you want to share with them, and all, then
Mm-hmm.
that is really damaging to
Yeah.
the marriage,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
that's my spot, that's my
Mm-hmm.
place.
Mm-hmm.
um and I don't mean every little thing. Like, if
I
you
mean,
go,
yeah,
if
yeah,
Polo is having a sale, call Greg first.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
I don't need you to call me,
Yeah,
because I'm just gonna wait until you bring it home and wear your stuff.
that's
But
crazy.
call Greg first. I don't need you to tell me that. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, if something is going on in your career, I need to know.
Yeah, you need to
I need
you
to,
definitely need to be the first
so
phone call.
it is. You have to be very careful how you navigate that.
Yeah, and again, you know what I'm saying, just kind of like expanding up on your point. I think that what happens, you know what I'm saying, with those moments of not being intentional and just cognizant or aware of the fact that, hey, this is a space that is only to be filled by my significant other, or this
Hmm.
is a space that is only to be filled by my spouse. I think it becomes like where you have to do some type of self reflection and say, okay, like why is it that, you know what I'm saying, I don't like, if there's a disruption in a connection or
Hmm.
something that's leading to me saying, okay, oh, I'm gonna call this person first. You know what I'm saying, like. So I think that's an indicator of something else that may be, you know what I'm saying, underlying taking place, you know, or another underlying issue that may be taking place in the nature of your relationship, or, you know what I'm saying, your marriage or whatever. Um, Again, still centered around intimacy, but um, just being mindful and cognizant, like, hey, listen, something's amiss or something is
Hmm.
off, because
And have the
yeah,
conversation.
and be able to have that conversation, and even before it gets to a point of imploding and becoming something that's completely bad, but just having that frame of mind and that presence of mind to examine yourself and be like, man, why wasn't my spouse
Right.
the first person I wanted to call, or why wasn't my significant other the first person I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, share this story with or communicate with about what it is that's taking place. But getting back to like the physical aspect of it, I know as we establish, and again, this is, you know what I'm saying, for marriages, and this particular episode particularly for marriages, like I know that that was something that, you know what I'm saying, led to our sex life becoming a lot better as well, you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
because of the intimacy that existed. It wasn't um just the mechanics or anything else of it, but it was something where we connected in a way where I felt like it strengthened us, you know what I'm
Right.
saying.
Because it went from being mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
and it same mechanics, it does take away from it a little bit, because I think even early on it was still beautiful, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
but I think that it wasn't as intimate.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I think now, as we've grown, we've gotten more mature, our value systems have changed a little bit, and we've had more candid conversations,
Yeah.
and we've had more conversations that you know were hard to hear, and hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Then it leads to being able to be completely vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and then be completely naked with someone. It You don't feel embarrassed or ashamed, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I think that does make for a better sex life.
Yeah, I think it does as well, because it, like, again, you know what I'm saying, you're bare, like there's nothing to hide, there's
Right.
nothing, you know what I'm saying, and the connection, it moves far beyond physical, you know what I'm saying, like you said, it's far more intimate, and you connect in a way, you
On
know
an
what I'm saying,
emotional level.
on an emotional level, and you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. I mean, then it also um it decreases the likelihood for some type of temptation, again, like we said earlier, taking place even from, you know what I'm saying, a sexual standpoint.
Hmm.
Like I understand that there are some that may struggle with certain things, you know what I'm saying, as it relates to maybe pornography or whatever else. But you know what I'm saying, and hopefully you don't mind this too much with me sharing. I know at one point in time, um, in our marriage, like I was praying to God and asking how to develop more intimacy. Now we had
Hmm.
intimacy, but I desired. I know there was something in me that desired more,
Right.
and there were certain things that I didn't even realize that was working against our level of intimacy. Maybe a television program I used to watch,
Or I watched.
or you watched,
Hmm.
or you know what I'm saying. Me being in a setting where temptation was all around me, and
Hmm.
instead of me being mindful of the temptation that was around me, um, I didn't give into it. But you know what I'm saying. I kind of was in the moment. You know what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
So, but as our intimacy increased and God started to remove those things, you know what I'm saying, away from me, and reshape the way I thought about stuff, and looked at it, it was almost as if our level of intimacy continuously increased, and it continuous, you know what I'm saying, continuously grew, and it became that much stronger and that much more significant in regards to our marriage. And I think that, you know what I'm saying, translated over into our physical sex life, you know what I'm saying, because I feel like there's a physical sex life and a mental sex life. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like and of course when the two come together, it's beautiful, but and I feel like the two should always come together. You know what I'm saying? But there's still there's a difference. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, in
Right.
terms of the mental and the physical piece. So I think it kind of bridged the gap on all of it and brought all of it together. You know what I'm saying? Because of that level of intimacy increasing, and now me looking at things differently. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So um, but again, it had to get to a place where I had to examine myself. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And I had to not look at what you were doing or not doing, but just me examine myself and look at what is it that I may have been doing that could have negatively been a contributor to, you know what I'm saying, our level of intimacy in our marriage. So,
Well, I mean, I think it was on both parts.
mm-hmm,
Like I said, it over the years, I think we both have grown. We both have,
mm-hmm,
seen some things, and through us having our conversations, or sometimes our arguments, or
yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
took.
because we had them too.
Yeah, we were able to extract what needed to be, um, that take the stuff that was important
Mm-hmm.
and apply it, and then the stuff that wasn't important, we were able to,
Yeah, we were
dump
able to
it,
just let that be where
and
it was.
move on from it. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that it is extremely important to know the difference,
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah,
to know the
definitely.
difference, and to um and to be able to go to your person and say, this is what I need,
Mm-hmm.
and what do we need to do to get to for us to get there,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, and to have those conversations, and just maturing over the years, and things like maybe I don't know, just whatever it is that we went through.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I think, and I'm so grateful that we were able to mature in this area, is being able to communicate to one another what the other one needed intimately, what we liked versus what we didn't like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was something that was extremely important, because here it is. If you're you know what I'm saying, trying your level best to connect with a person, but you're not giving them something that they desire, or you're not giving them something that
Right.
is welcomed, then it's like it's all for nothing.
You're
You know what
trying
I'm
and,
saying? You're trying and it's not equaling
right.
anything. So I think us being able to sit down and express to one another, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to intimacy, I need this. Or
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, when it comes to our sex life, I need this. I think that was important, and I think it helped us to grow in ways even in that area, because it was like we revealed another layer of one another to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like I'm trusting you with this. You know
Piece
what
of
I'm saying? With this
information.
piece of information that is
Right.
very sensitive in nature. And yeah, we're married, but you know what I'm saying? Just because you're married, it doesn't mean that you've been fully exposed in every way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to your person. And I think that's also a portion of intimacy that gets overlooked. Like because there are some people, you know what I'm saying, because I know we had now this is one area of intimacy I think improved over the years. There were parts of us, seasons of our lives where there were things that we had gone through, and we had compartmentalized those things, and we just kind of brushed over them. We never talked about them with each other in detail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we
Right.
never came, and I think we talked about it on another episode. Like when we were in Colombia, when we would sit down and you know what I'm saying, have our cigars together. Like I feel like a lot of information was
It was
exchanged
like a
during that
counseling
time. Yeah, it
session.
was a counseling session like
Yeah,
during that time, and it
that
allowed
was
us
good.
to better understand one another, because now here it is, I'm sharing with you how something made me feel and the dynamics of it, so you were able to put two and two together and say, oh, okay, when he does this, the reason he
Mm-hmm.
does that
Mm-hmm.
is because of this. Okay.
Right. And
And
a lot
vice
of times
versa with
just
yourself.
hearing it and being like, wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that bothered you, or I didn't even know that you did like that,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. It comes from predetermined ideas. Like, as a woman, you think, or let me say this: as a woman, I felt
Mm-hmm.
like, you have sex with a guy, he's gonna be happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's really that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Men want sex. They
Mm-hmm.
want sex and they want food.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it boiled down to, it really wasn't that simple.
Nah, it's not. It's not.
It boiled down to, okay, well, yeah, you are cooking this, but I don't even like that.
Yeah, for real.
Or we are having sex, but when you do this or say this or whatever, I don't even like that.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah,
That's not even important
yeah.
to
You need to
me.
keep that.
Yeah, so now I'm like,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah, for real.
So I was doing headstands and flipping across the room,
She
and
said handstands and
you know what I'm
flipping
saying?
across the room. Yeah,
I'm end up in traction, and I didn't even have to do all that.
yeah, for
And you were
real.
like,
Yeah,
that was good enough. And so it takes the pressure
mm-hmm.
off of both people
Yeah, it
when you
does.
and then too, the funny thing about it is hindsight is 2020, because you know just for transparency, neither one of us were virgins when we got together.
Nah,
All
nah,
right,
we weren't.
neither one of us were virgins. But the funny thing is, how dare you be having sex with somebody if you can't talk about sex with the person you're having sex with?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
That's crazy.
I
Yeah,
don't want to talk to you, but I'm
yeah,
embarrassed.
that's crazy.
I don't want to say this to you. I'm embarrassed,
Mm-hmm.
but I can do it. No, we need to talk about it.
Yeah, you should be able to. You know what I'm saying? And this probably off topic a little bit, but on topic. Like you said, you know what I'm saying. Neither one of us um virgins when we came into the marriage. Do you feel like, and I know your take on, you know what I'm saying, certain aspects. I mean, and just you know what I'm saying, because I know I have a perspective on that.
Okay.
do you feel as if, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I would encourage, you know what I'm saying? First and foremost, because it's biblical. I'm a,
Yes, and I
you know what I'm
respect
saying?
that.
Yeah, first and foremost, because it's biblical. I'm always going to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Until you're married, abstain from, you know, engaging in sexual activity because of what the Bible says. But now I'm not naive in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not naive, and you know what I'm saying. Nor am I one of those individuals that is judgmental because I have no, you know what I'm saying. I don't have a leg to stand on.
Right.
But I have been, you know what I'm saying, in conversations with men where they have expressed, and I'm not calling any names or whatever, you know what I'm saying. That's why I say men.
Hmm.
I have been in conversations with men where they have expressed that the fact that they were having sex prior to being married is ultimately impactful to the nature of the relationship with their spouses. You know what I'm saying? I've heard a guy express like, man, this young lady, when it came to the physical act of sex,
Right.
she
Now you're
she did
comparing
this.
it.
It's a compare, but not
Yeah,
only is it a comparison, but now you know what I'm saying. That image is something that you know what I'm saying. They're having a difficult time with removing from their mind or
I
their
can
thought
see that.
process.
Hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying. Again, I'm not naive, but I always, if you, I would, you know what I'm saying, encourage you strongly to, if you can, abstain from it because I think it makes, you know, when you and your spouse come together, I think it makes that moment more beautiful, and
Hmm.
just in my opinion. And again, that's something that I know for certain has, you know what I'm saying, had impact on, you know what I'm saying, people who I've been around and had conversations with, where it's impacted their intimacy with their wives. You know what I'm saying? Like they love their wives dearly. Um, they're attracted to their wives. All of these other things, but for whatever reason, well, not know for whatever reason, we know what the reason is. But
Hmm.
you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Prior to them being married, they were with this young lady, or you know what I'm saying? For women,
She
they
was an
were with
acrobat.
that's what I'm saying.
She
Like
was
she or
flexible.
or he, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and now this image is, you know what I'm saying, entrenched in your brain, or
Right.
etched and that's something where I feel like not a not enough people are honest with themselves about how, you know what I'm saying, later on in life that impacts them
Right.
or that it affects them. But again, like I said, I've been in rooms and a part of conversations where like where dudes are like, man, I love my wife. I'm attracted to my wife and this, that, and the other. But man, what old girl used to do, like I can't get that out, and
I can
they
see that.
desire to get it out of
I
their
can. I
minds.
can
You
see
know what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah,
I
they
can see
desire to.
that. I definitely can see that. But and that's so unfortunate.
Mm-hmm,
Um, it really is to, you know, you go to you go on vacation
mm-hmm,
somewhere once in a lifetime,
mm-hmm.
and you go to this restaurant and they have this amazing meal,
Yeah,
and then you go back to your real life and you're like, you can't get it again
yeah,
unless
for
you go
real.
back to that that
Mm-hmm,
place. So you're always thinking, man,
mm-hmm.
that was the best, whatever that I ever had. And you do, you think about it or whatever, but for me, and I know it's biblical,
Don't. Yeah, don't.
I
We're not gonna argue with the Bible.
no, we're not gonna argue with the Bible. I definitely am not gonna argue with
Yeah.
the Bible. But I'm speaking just from being a human being.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
I'm speaking from being a human being. Um, I just mm,
Yeah, I mean, I get what
that
you're
that one
saying,
is, that one is, you.
but that's why I say I think it's important for to understand that intimacy is more than just the physical, though, because
But what if you then you get married and the intimacy is amazing, and the physical is not,
but then that's where you have those
and
seeing
then
that.
somebody's gonna say, oh well, but you don't have nothing to compare it to. Yeah, but if you, I mean, again, let's go to a restaurant.
Mm,
You go to a restaurant when you order something off the menu. You've never had it before. When you
mm.
eat it, you don't like it. You're like, this is trash.
Yeah, definitely,
I don't
and
like this.
and I'm
And
not
then
even.
you are like,
Yeah, this is horrible, and I'm not even talking about with the something to compare it to, but is that vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? Where if there's an issue going on with you or your partner and you're not being satisfied, you should be able to have a conversation and say, hey, listen, mentally we're able to connect, but physically, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling this. And that's what I'm saying. And I know for men that may be more difficult to hear, but then it shows a level of maturity because you know what I'm saying. It's like, okay, my spouse's needs are not getting met. What is it that we can do to ensure? You know what I'm saying? Like as it relates to communication, as it relates to you know what I'm saying, exploring and taking this journey together in the bedroom. So now we're both being fulfilled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, like not to just be on no freaky deaky stuff, but even when you're in the dating phases, and say you do, or you are one of those individuals where you abstain from sex. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
sorry.
What I said,
I was
freaky
trying to
deaky.
be serious. I was trying not to let it bother.
What because I said freaky deaky?
Yes.
I mean freaky
I
deaky.
was trying to hold on to it. Okay.
It's all good, but let's say
That,
for instance,
that is
you know what I'm saying, freaky deaky. Yeah, we're
okay.
gonna say, you know, yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna keep it as clean as possible. Say
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, you on some stuff where now you do abstain from that, and you know what I'm saying, you're working on things from a mental standpoint. I think there are certain conversations that should be had in a very safe way to discuss or describe what it is that you think you would like, and that's again that's I
But
feel
then what
as
if you? Well,
adults.
okay, and then I think this should be another podcast
Mm-hmm.
because and the reason I say
Mm-hmm.
that is something I think that we should definitely discuss
Mm-hmm.
because now what if you marry someone
Who you gotta talk into the mic?
and it's goodness, it's time for me to go get the baby.
Okay.
What if you do marry someone and they are just like you are now married to this person
Mm-hmm.
and you've expressed something that you need and they are just not willing to do that. What if you get married
Mm-hmm.
and the intimacy is great and the communication is great and everyone does their thing,
Mm-hmm.
so you settle into your roles, I settle into mine, whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then your spouse comes to you and says, we are being intimate um once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person and but you desire 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And your your schedule and work and whatever, you really could take the time
Yes.
and make time for each other and you really could, be physically intimate 3 or 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do in that situation?
I mean, you that's
Like because somebody is that is not fair.
it's. I mean, it's not fair, but again, that's why I say there's a level of maturity that needs to be had as well as you know what I'm saying, being committed to your spouse to be able to be in that space with them and allow them to express that to you.
And they express it and
And
then you're still like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
yeah, but I mean then that's a further conversation to be had and you know what I'm saying, I'm not a sex therapist nor am I someone that you know what I'm saying can give my professional opinion, but I'll just give my personal opinion. Then at that moment you seek, you know what I'm saying, help from someone to help you in that area. I mean because even biblically, man, like the Bible talks about, you know what I'm saying, husband and wives not being abstaining from one another for far too long, you know what I'm saying, but coming back together so that one or the other is not tempted. So like that's you know what I'm saying, that's something that's extremely important and I don't think it should be neglected. Now if your person has some type of just off the wall type stuff and it's like it goes against something that like you know what I'm saying, like I'm being serious, like
It's
beat
freaky
me,
deaky.
punch me, yeah, like that type of
What?
stuff, and you like I don't want to fight you, you know what I'm saying, like I don't want I don't want to
Wait.
fight you. I don't want to beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I'm just saying, like,
Oh my god.
yeah, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, that's all I want to do. So it's like now I feel like that's something else that needs to be addressed because that may be something spiritually or something else going on with
That
that.
that
You know what
is
I'm saying?
that's a whole different.
Yeah, it is. But again, that there needs to be a level of communication that's
Yeah.
had in those moments to be able to identify, you know what I'm saying, what it is that's taking place in your marriage and be able to move past, you know, certain hiccups or potential issues or problems. But
Yeah.
man, I we've definitely come to that
Yeah.
point in
We
a
definitely have to do.
yeah, we will. I know we've come to that point in the conversation where we want to be respectful of everyone's time, but then in addition to that, we you know we got our little one is in preschool now, so yeah, we I mean you doing this, but like man, but every day she be on pins and needles because he had a bigger school with a whole lot
Well,
more kids
because
and all
it's a
that
lot
other
of
stuff.
bigger kids, and I want to make sure they do right with
Yeah,
my baby.
definitely. So we tracking, but again, we're at that point in the conversation where we'll stick a pin in it, and you know what I'm saying. We'll come back, and I'm sure we'll discuss this more in detail because you got
Yeah,
a lot to say.
I
I
have a
know.
lot to say about
Yeah, I know
this.
you do,
Yeah,
but um,
we'll do part two to this one.
we're gonna have to do something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But again, please make sure that you continue to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. So you know what I'm saying. You're alerted to the fact when we release a new video. And man, you know, have some conversations with your spouse or your significant other about intimacy and about, you know what I'm saying, what it is that you desire and you require, and just be honest and transparent with one another. So those moments of temptation could be limited, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying, you don't give room for something else to seep into your marriage, man. Again, um, it's nothing wrong with having conversations about sex. You know, that's what it is. You're married. That's one
Right.
of the
Right.
benefits and one of the beauties of being married is the ability to connect physically. So
Because
make
you
sure
do
you're having
not
those
want
conversations. What
to
you don't want
not
what?
have that conversation and somebody who's freaky deaky have that
Yeah.
conversation with your person.
Yeah, you don't want that. So, man, listen, I'm not about to keep playing with
Look,
you, but look at this guy right here,
and
man.
so now here's our dog.
Yeah, he
So
come busting in here. So, man, again, continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. You might as well pick him up, everybody. That's Polo,
that's
everybody.
Polo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
He made
Continue
a
to
guest
a guest
appearance.
appearance. So continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification button, and hopefully you enjoyed this conversation, man. Y'all have a blessed remainder of the day. Peace.